Alright, I've decided to restart because this cave is cramped and it's annoying. But I figured I'd do like a little tour of my basic factory because, you know, why not? I got nothing better to do. I can post it in the screenshots, you know. Yeah, so I'm gonna go over here is the starting area, of course. We got the very small resource bin, and I hate how it costs so much to get the bigger one. I think it's gonna be 50k because it's causing issues. If I remember if I remember to edit the video, I'll put like a screenshot of when I had a bunch of gold plates stacked up. I got like 10k off of it, but yeah, it clogged the whole thing. Anyway, so yeah, yeah, got that. And then over here, I think this was like the first miner I placed. This one, or one of these guys. So this guy just makes iron. Got it set to where everything goes on this main line and gets sorted. So, you know, all the gems get sorted to this polisher, and then they get polished and put to the bin. And I meant to make this a roller conveyor, but the corner is too big, so I never bothered changing it. Because you know, they don't smoothly exit, because you know, why wouldn't they? So, there's like a slight pitching there. It's just been okay sometimes, but I don't want to risk it because you know, why not? Yeah, so you know, it gets ores, and then the ore gets sorted. I found if you sort the ores and then have like the default route be everything else, it works better, especially for the rare stuff like gems, because you get like a small handful of gems compared to everything else. So it's good to have it like sort the ore out and everything else gets polished, because why not? And the reason that this one has a sorter is because I didn't think about that when I first built this system, so I just kind of slapped it on there last minute, hoped it worked, and it actually misses half the ores, which I think I'm about to fix that. But like one of the miners didn't go through that sorter, so it would just sell unpolished gems, which are worth some amount less. I don't know how much because I can't check, and I don't want to deal with the ore analyzer thing because it's annoying. And also, like, it only prints out what was recently scanned, so it's kind of useless. I can't see a history of it, which is annoying, but whatever. And so, you know, got the ores, and then, of course, the iron. Actually, let's go to miners. Sorry, I'll try to go in order, so that's less chaotic. This guy gives iron and coal. I think these guys also do iron and coal. Yeah, it's like iron and coal. Yeah, that's like what most of the ores here do. So, yeah, all the iron gets crushed up and turned into ores, which, because I did replace it with the steel furnace later on, because I get something up there too. Which actually, I guess it's in here. Yeah, this is like a random ore deposit I found up here, because I think there's like some ore nodes. I was like, oh, I gotta mine the ore nodes, why not? So I slapped it up here real quick. It's got a very basic system where it just sorts the ore, gets crushed, and then that goes into the steel furnace, or the, sorry, the casting furnace. I think it's the official name. Right? Yeah, casting furnace. I keep thinking it's like a steel foundry, but you don't have to make steel. Like, you can just not give it coal and just make iron, which is nice. So let's try that out because it might be good. Anyway, so yeah, this guy makes the iron, gets crushed and put into there, and then the coal goes into the coal input. You can't mirror the coal input, which gets a bit annoying, but oh well. But yeah, so it makes gears, because I'm pretty sure gears are more valuable than ingots. Like, that makes logical sense. But once again, I can't check, and I'm too lazy to bother checking. So yeah, they just get polished and sold. And actually, I bought walled conveyors just for this, because stuff kept falling off. It was a bit annoying. So yeah, like, just good advice though. Try to avoid curves if you can for this, because like the rods are long and they don't like turning as much. So it's a bit annoying. But yeah, I kind of had everything set down already, and so I didn't want to have to deal with it. Because especially when I upgrade these to roller conveyors, I realized it's like one tile too far, and I was like, I could fix it, but then it conflicts with all these belts, and I don't want to deal with it. Why not restart and say it's a factory game? Your first save is always just like experiment. And then you get that. And same thing over here, you know, iron gets crushed and turned into ingots. I can find it over here. I think this is the one for this group of miners here. It gets crushed, put into ingots, and then the ingots get cast. And they go this long route here, and then they get turned into rods, and then they get sold. They're polished and then sold. Guess for why the rod machine is that far away is because I can't place it here. Like, the game just will not let me put it down here. And so I was like, okay, fine, in game, I'll just make it up here instead. You know, why not? Yeah, so also I love this new sorting mode for conveyors where you can do, or the magnet where it's resources not on conveyors. It's quite nice. It was added in the recent steel update, which is great. Yeah, also, I hope the inventory gets updated, because I can't find a good way up where I have stuff in bothers me. Also, making equipment slots, because I don't like when they have to have equipment just in a random slot. It just bothers me. Oh yeah, I think that's kind of it for this area here. Just, yeah, it makes ingots and also the coal. When I got this, I was like, okay, I gotta deal with it now. So I realized during testing, like when I was figuring out how it works, I realized that sometimes the coal becomes crushed coal. So I could just have it get sorted. It sorts out the crushed coal, which goes back up and gets sorted again because it gives you, I think it's rubies. I'm pretty sure it's like rubies from crushed coal and diamonds from regular coal, which is kind of funny because the ruby model is like about the same size as coal ore, and it just looks visually funny when that happens. Yeah, coal for rubies and crushed coal for diamonds. That's right, sorry, yes, crushed coal for diamonds, that's backwards. Yes, so I have it set to go both. I could just crush all the coal first, but I need the rubies for whatever quest it was early on, and I was like, yeah, I could just fix it later. And then later came and went, and I never fixed it because it's too much work. So it's good until because, like, I mean, I don't know the exact value difference, and I kind of don't care to check. I'd assume it's like a decent amount, but I don't know. Also, as you can see, a couple of gems have gone through here, and they don't get affected, which I like, because that way I can just easily route everything through this cannon. This is the only cannon I use because these things are garbage. Like, they're so inconsistent, it's annoying. I like the concept, but it needs to be much more consistent, because I had one, I don't think I got a screenshot or anything, but I had one for, like, plates and stuff set up that will go to that tile right there. I had a target there, and half the time, like, the cannon was right here where this belt is. I replaced it with the belt, but the cannon was here, so it would hit this target and go down. But half the time, it would just miss somehow, and the plate would just fall to the ground, or the plate would fall short and not hit the target somehow and fall to the ground. So I didn't want to do it. I was like, I'll just make belts then, fine, you know. It's kind of annoying, but whatever. Yeah, so that's my one complaint with the cannons, and I remember why I don't use them, because anytime a game has something like that, it kind of doesn't work, because for whatever reason, I guess the velocity is inconsistent. Like, what it should do is just have like a set path you can set up, and then things just always follow that path without physics. Like, that would be kind of janky. But not like janky like, in the sense of like, oh, it looks bad. It would just, it doesn't mesh well with the physics-based gameplay, but it works better, and that's more useful. I mean, it could just be a skill issue on my part, I don't know, but yeah, so, yeah, the coal gets crushed, and I just did that because I ran out of space. I could have made it a belt, I guess, because I have enough space for a slow belt, but I was like, nah, cannons are cooler, might as well try it out. And so, I mean, as you can see, all the gems get launched here, and then they go through the polisher. Originally, it just fell to the ground here, but then I put down this machine, so I added the second level of belts. But yeah, it's fine. Oh yeah, there's one now, so yeah. The ruby got launched, and then it goes down here. I also love the physics in the game, so it gets polished. I like how the polisher can process multiple things at a time. It's kind of funny, and also the central belt just means nothing. Like, it's just decorative. You could just slap down a whole stack of plate, and it'll just process them all at once. It's quite funny. I guess it's just because of the way it works, but yeah. I'm not complaining, of course. It's a lot better this way, but it's still comfy. Alright, so yeah, that's good. I like this shaking machine, by the way. It makes coal more useful. Yeah, and then over here is my gold. So it took me forever to find the gold because there's no map, and I kept going through that tunnel, but at least it's copper. So I finally found the gold, bought a label, and labeled it. I'm totally getting to that sign. But yeah, I've also got crushed coal here for the quest on the left. Because I was like, I guess I could crush coal for the first time in like the 5 hours it's been since I started the game. But I've got this basic setup. So, you know, this guy crushes coal. Once again, coal gets sorted, and then all the gems get thrown here. I don't have it sort out unpolished gems because I didn't want to deal with it. So yeah, they just kind of go through the line. This line is really long, by the way. Like, that'd be nice if you can make satellite bins. See, also, I had this in the center, and then I realized that it conflicted with this, which is copper rods, I'm pretty sure. Actually, I'm going to do copper first, because that's going in order. Yeah. Here's my little copper setup. I found, like, this copper ore node here, so it's been my sole source of copper for the whole game. But yeah, and it doesn't even give that much copper, so it's been bad. I've been meaning to add more, and I just keep not getting it done because I'm lazy. Yeah, once again, of course, it sorts out the ore. It goes... copper gets crushed, and I assume crushed copper just falls directly through, but I don't actually know for sure. I'm going to say it does, though, because if it gets destroyed, it would be kind of goofy. I guess that's this one crushed down. Yeah, also, I also like machines. Like, the aesthetics and stuff is cool. Like, this whole game's art style is great. It kind of reminds me of, like, in terms of gameplay, yeah, it does fall through. It reminds me of, like, the ancient Minecraft mods from, like, 1.6 and 7-ish. Basically pre-1.12, where you have, like, various stuff. Because that was back when people didn't care as much about optimization, so they just made things look cool. Like the Buildcraft quarry, which is still the best quarry ever, because it has that awesome setup animation, and it leaves a giant hole in the world, and it's great. And now everyone's too hyper-focused on optimizing everything, and everything looks lame now, and it's annoying. Like, at least give me the option, like Thermal Expansion did that, like, forever, where the item ducts and fluid ducts have two versions. The windowed one, and the opaque one. The opaque one is cheaper, but you can't see it, and then the windowed one is a bit more expensive, because you need hardened glass, which needs obsidian. But you can see the items flowing through it, and I think they don't connect to each other as well, so you can like use them to run two lines at the same time. I don't remember though, because I like never used the opaque ones, and I forgot to film this at all, like this part where the iron copper gets processed. Yeah, that was great. I miss old Minecraft mods. New ones are still neat and all. I guess in terms of aesthetic, this is closest to Create, but I don't really like Create, because I don't like building stuff in the building game, which I guess is a bit hypocritical, because this game is also building stuff, but it's a factory game. I don't know, I'll also try Create again, I guess. The new stock update is kind of neat. I just haven't bothered because I'm like, well, Logistics Pipes too. I miss that mod. It was so great. Enough reminiscing. Yeah, also this coal line goes here. It gets sorted too. I don't like how there's not like a corner chute. It'd be nice, or a ledge. It'd be nice if there was a corner ledge, because having this little goofy thing is annoying. Also the corner belts, like they don't quite line up with the other animation, which I guess just because it's this scrolling texture that goes sideways instead of forwards. But I noticed that early on. I was like, oh, it's kind of neat. And yeah, so yeah, the copper gets crushed and melted and then turned into ingots, and then that gets polished and then turned into rods. I could do the other way around. I like to polish the ingots first though, because that way it's all done. Especially on this like mainline belt, where that one with the gold, like that was gonna be my main resource belt, where it's like, oh, if I need to sell something, I could just toss onto that belt. What could possibly go wrong? Yeah, so the copper rods go here and then they fall and get sold for whatever they're worth. I don't know. See, I can't see the sell value of stuff unless I scan it, and I do not want to deal with that. It's annoying. Like, even nice if once you sell something, you can like look at it and get a little tooltip about it. I don't know. But yeah, I guess it doesn't really matter, but I like to know the values of stuff, because why not? Okay, yeah, so that makes copper, which it might make another one soon, right? Because it needs. Oh, I also like realized recently this green line is how much it needs to make the thing, and I feel stupid for not noticing that earlier. But in my defense, it'd be better if it was like an ingot shape and then that filled in. That'd be cool. Like, that would match better. Also, this is like a CRT monitor, which I'm not sure why. I guess it does nostalgic or something, but yeah. Anyway, so that's what if the copper. Back to the gold, because once again I forgot to go in order. But yeah, if I can sprint over here. The gold took forever to set up. I set up at like 3 a.m., like 2 to 3 a.m. today. Oh, a diamond, nice. Because I was like, oh, I gotta I can just get this done quickly and go to bed. And then it was like 3:30 a.m. when I went to bed. But yeah, Dude, plates are like a little bit too wide. It's kind of annoying. Can you go back on the belt where you belong? Go, stay there. Good. Anyways, so yeah, the coal, and this guy also makes some ore. Also like the slight variance in ore nodes. It's neat. Although this looks more like an iron node to me, so I don't know if the texture's wrong or what. But I don't know. It's a bit annoying. Yeah. Also, I've got this heavy extractor that's a quest one to build, and I still haven't found anywhere to put it, so I'm just not going to use it, I guess. But yeah. It's okay, it doesn't matter. Okay, so yeah, these guys make gold, and then that gold gets filtered. Also, this is like 99% gold, which is nice. That was nice when I found that. And this one's like 98.5% gold, because I'm adding in the crushed gold, and that's also gold. Anyway, so once again, I use this vertical bulk sorter, which is awesome, and I love it, and I've got to use it more, because it's very big, and you got to have it like kind of high, but it's great. It's cool. I also like how everything goes in like the slots, which is neat. And I also feel like, I don't know if you saw, but if you look inside it when it's sorting items, they just kind of like hover to that side, which I think is great. I guess it's because the dev I couldn't think of an animation for it, or didn't want to deal with it. But yeah, it could just be like a magical black box. I don't know. Maybe it uses pneumatics or something, I guess. Also, something else I like about this game, that you don't need to power anything. Like, you don't have to deal with power lines or anything. You just pop the machine down and it works. It's great. I love it. It just lets you focus on building the factories and not dealing with the power system, because like having to go power everything is kind of part of the factory games. But once you do it enough times, it just gets frustrating and tiring. Like, it's like I don't want to. I just want to build stuff, and or I just want to build my factories. Anyways, so yeah, the gold gets crushed into crushed gold, and then it gets smelted into ingots, and those ingots get polished and turned into plates. I like how I was able to make this easy corner for it. And then the plates glisten is fine. I was going to make this roller conveyors, because I like to have like the main belt be a higher tier, that way I can easily distinguish it amongst every other belt in the game. But the curved belts take up like 2 tiles, so I haven't got the space for that. And I was like, okay, I'll just use a regular one, I don't care. Because like, going from a regular belt to the roller belt, it kind of works at times. But for plates especially, it works fine, because I don't know if you see, but the plate is like a little bit wider than this belt, so it kind of hovers above it slightly, which means that when it falls down to the roller belt, there's that slight gap gets filled in, so it doesn't get stuck like other items do. That's one of the slight advantages of the physics-based system for belts. because it's neat. Anyway, that's gonna end. I was going to build more to this, which I think is on the other side over here. I've also got this like abomination for coal. It's such a pain to get over there because this tunnel's so narrow. But yeah, like the coal gets sorted. As like that miner there is part of the system because it's nearby. So yeah, coal gets sorted, then put into the shaker again, and then once it gets shaken and stirred, it gets sorted out. So crushed coal goes down here to get sorted again, and then the gems go over here. And I was going to have them be polished and sold, and then it was like 3:30 a.m. So I was like, I should go to bed. And now I'm just gonna abandon this world because I don't want to deal with this narrow cave. Like, I knew we should have started with the big cave, the new one they added, because I feel like that's going to be more new player friendly. And like, I'm technically a new player because I played the demo and that was it. But yeah. Anyway, so that's kind of it so far. I haven't done much, but I don't know. It's only like a 5-hour save, but I think it's neat. Yeah, this game's great so far, and I'm looking forward to like the full launch. I hope there's Steam achievements because it'd be great to get all the Steam achievements for it. Yeah, I also like the verticality is neat. Like, you know, games that have verticality, automation games that have verticality, are kind of rare to find. The only ones I know of are Satisfactory, Dice Program, and then of course this one because they're 3D. And I guess Shapes 2 as well, but I haven't played that yet because it's like $30. Yeah, like it's kind of neat that when you get that because you're able to cram more things into one spot. You know, when I remember to do that, like the stacked conveyors, the stackable conveyors in Satisfactory, I've like always wanted to use them, and I keep like not designing things to use them. I keep making stuff 2D instead of 3D. Damn. And who knows? I guess maybe the big cave will probably do the same. Cause I know if I have more space to work with, I tend to just plop things on the ground because it's Factorio, so why not? You got infinite space there. But yeah, I gotta force myself to be more vertical because it's neat, and I get to use chutes because item chutes are neat too, but I don't get to use them often because it feels like it's just like for the more vertical areas of this cave. But I haven't explored most of the cave because there's no map and I'm gonna get lost. Even when I was going back and forth to build this gold system, this gold factory, I kept getting lost because I just cannot navigate for the life of me. Please add a map and you can get my soul. Also, this shaft of light makes me think that you could build like a satellite bin, and I really hope so because that would be nice. Because it'd be great if you could just build them in set locations like that. Because having to route everything to one area in the game is a bit annoying because you gotta like hunt down how to get it done and go through all the tunnels and all that. Like if you use micro tracks, like what if we could build mine carts and reuse these tracks? That'd be cool. I guess maybe that's planned for the future. I don't know, but it'd be cool if you could like, you know, refresh or like repair these ones and build your own, and you can have mine carts to take items back and forth that you need. But yeah, I guess that's kind of it. Yeah, just everything gets sold. I wanted to get the bigger bin, but it's super expensive. Actually, I guess I'm close to getting it now. But yeah, that's kind of it. Like, it'd be nice if it was, like I said, it'd be nice if it was the first upgrade for it. It was like 50k, but at the same time, I guess I could have just been more efficient with the way I put things in here, which is what I did, and that worked. But yeah, I suppose that's it. So I guess I should upload this video now. But yeah, like there's my brief tour of this like starter base. It's kind of janky, but you know, I just kind of slapped things together as I went along because I was still like I knew a bit about how the game works because of the demo. But the newer stuff like the casting furnace, I wasn't sure how to implement it. Also, basically everything past the ore melting, or the ore melter, or the blast furnace. Everything past the blast furnace, like I had it used because it wasn't in the demo. Yeah, also this heavy auto miner. I wanted to use that, but I just can't find anywhere to put it, and it's annoying because I don't know where they're supposed to. Like, I know where they're supposed to go because it says in the description that it goes on heavy ore nodes, but I just cannot find one for the life of me. So I don't know if they're like hidden somewhere or what. But you know, it'd be nice if there's like an ore scanner you could get or something. But yeah, I mean that's kind of it. I guess I'm gonna exit. But yeah, I don't know. Also, this is wrong. I set it to F4, not P. You're lying to me, game. Go buy the game. I'll put a link in the description. It's cool.